चल हो जा शुरू।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Ultimately, mass contact has many forms, and Padyatra is the best form of mass contact.
Chandigarh's progress was halted for 10 years and people are really excited to see the change.
A vote for Sanjay Tandon is a vote for Anil Masi. People in Chandigarh need to understand, if they vote for Sanjay Tandon or they vote for the BJP, they'll be voting for somebody who has murdered democracy in Chandigarh.
We are joined by INDI Alliance joint candidate from Chandigarh Manish Tewari, and Manish Tewari is a candidate here in Chandigarh, the UT Chandigarh. There's a two-way battle in Chandigarh. Mr. Tewari, you have several times stated that this place has a sentimental value for you. This place has a sentimental value for you. But how will this sentimental value play a very pivotal role in you winning this seat?
Well, the India Alliance is putting up a very cohesive and united fight. The atmosphere is anti the BJP. They murdered democracy ruthlessly in Chandigarh. Everybody understands that a vote for Sanjay Tandon will be a vote for Anil Masi, the man who murdered democracy in Chandigarh, who was reprimanded by the Supreme Court and unfortunately roams scot-free. So this is a battle to protect democracy, to protect the Constitution of India, and to protect your rights, that you also can report freely and not be called Godi media.
One more thing, Mr. Tewari. Now, when we are, these days the narrative and the style of campaigning has changed a lot. You are a fitness enthusiast. We have seen you jogging, running. You have been campaigning in parks. Now a Padyatra. How is this very important style of, now focus points also telling people that no, vote for us, it will change the entire perception?
Ultimately, mass contact has many forms, and Padyatra is the best form of mass contact.
You have represented Anandpur Sahib and Ludhiana earlier. Now, this is place how you are converting into your political turf.
See, we have served the people of our constituencies very, very conscientiously. Everybody knows that in Chandigarh. And we will serve the people of Chandigarh and ensure that all that which has not been done in the last 10 years of the BJP rule gets done.
Chandigarh is a well-designed and executed heritage city. There's a domicile problem. The people are demanding metro here. What are the promises you are making to the people of Chandigarh?
We are going to be coming out with a detailed local manifesto. All our promises will reflect in that manifesto. When that comes out, I would request you to come and attend the press conference.
Mr. Tewari, now you have been doing Padyatras and campaigning. One thing which your opponent has also been stating, that Manish Tewari is an outsider, he's not an insider. So what are you doing that? What's your response to that?
One thing is very clear. A vote for Sanjay Tandon is a vote for Anil Masi, who's murdered democracy in Chandigarh. People in Chandigarh need to understand, if they vote for Sanjay Tandon or they vote for the BJP, they'll be voting for somebody who has murdered democracy in Chandigarh.
One more thing, BJP slogan, Ab ki baar 400 par. Now 4 phases have gone. What's you picking from the ground?
BJP दक्षिण में साफ है, उत्तर में हाफ है. 400 की बात करते हैं, इनकी 150 नहीं आएंगी.
So right now here we are joined by Inika Tewari. She's the daughter of Manish Tewari and right now handling Manish Tewari's social media campaigning all throughout since the day when his candidature was announced. Inika, so how far is campaign going?
I think the campaign is going really well. At the end of the day, I think Chandigarh's progress was halted for 10 years and people are really excited to see the change. And, we've sort of come back to Chandigarh. My father's got the ticket from his hometown and we are just so excited with the love that we're getting.
It's being said, precisely when we spoke to so many people, they said that Manish Tewari is an outsider. Although it's a homecoming for Manish Tewari, but for a longer period of time, there was a disconnection from this place. He was representing Anandpur Sahib and Ludhiana. So how come you are building that entire perception that no, he's an insider, this is his birthplace, this is a place which is has a sentimental value for your entire family?
So I would say that, even though my father has represented a couple of constituencies, Ludhiana and Anandpur Sahib, he's always continued to raise Chandigarh's issues in Parliament, electricity privatization, the MRTS system, reservation in the Rajya Sabha. So I don't think he's ever lost that connect with Chandigarh to begin with. He's also contributed to Chandigarh's development through his own MP-led funds a number of times. And I think that is something that, people are going to see. We've got such a strong connect with this city. My Dadi was, the Dean of PGI. My Dadaji was a professor of Punjabi at Punjab University. And I just think that, the fact that he was assassinated here, my father witnessed the assassination. We just have such a strong connect because this is where his father sort of lived and died, right? So how more local do you get than that?
So right now, if we talk about the social media campaign, Inika, so what exactly are the points, the focus areas where exactly the campaign is moving?
So I would say there are 4 pillars and, the aim of the campaign is to just make the voters aware of what are these 4 pillars and to make them aware of the person behind the leader. My father is a phenomenal orator, strong voice in Parliament. The command over English, Hindi, Punjabi is something that is, inspirational to all of us. I would say to establish that, to establish his local roots, to also establish the fact that he's very accessible as a person. It's always a rule wherever he goes that he will take time out before he starts his day to sort of meet with every single person who comes home and hear them out on a one-on-one basis. And it's not just about hearing them, it's also about the fact that he actions it, which I think we just want the voters to know.
It's always said that behind every successful man there's an entire army, which includes wife, daughter, son, each and every family member. Being a daughter, the local issues you are pushing a lot on social media campaigning or the national issues are really relevant here in Chandigarh?
So I would say that there are, broader issues, inflation of course, the fact is we look at Chandigarh as a planned city. We see it as city beautiful. However, when you actually go into the outskirts, when you go into the colonies, you go into the villages, you see that they should have been model colonies at this point, right? There are a handful of them in the constituency. And unfortunately, that's not the case. Inflation, unemployment, these are the concerns that are sort of consistent across colonies. The garbage dumps the colonies have become. So when you actually go to see the reality, the city has now become really far from its title of city beautiful, which I think needs to be addressed urgently.
So when we talk about Chandigarh, it's a very different city. If different from the most of the pockets of the Punjab, most of the pockets of Haryana, but still we see that the Haryana has more claim on Chandigarh than Punjab. There are more deputation of Punjab, of Haryana in Chandigarh than as compared to Punjab. Do these issues really matter to the people, to the voters of Punjab?
See, I would say that there's definitely a sentiment, right? I believe that it's a union territory that does serve as a capital of 2 very strong states, and of course, I think to achieve that balance, there is going to be a little bit of a tiff. But I do think that I would say the Chandigarh residents as a whole, if we are able to establish employment opportunities for the local Chandigarh residents, I think that's going to play a very big role in this. Not just the campaign, but I would say the development and the progress of Chandigarh as a whole.
But there's also a dissent regarding this amongst the, you see two sort of opinion coming from the side of people. One don't want the heritage city to be disturbed. They don't want the architecture to be disturbed. They want it as a heritage city only. And the other bloc precisely wants the infrastructure to be more developed. They want it to be like Panchkula and Mohali, more high-rise buildings, more better opportunities for the outsiders who are coming and residing here. So how you are balancing that in your social media campaign?
So see, I would say that everything's about a balance, right? Every single thing in life is about a balance, and Chandigarh is known to be a heritage city. It's constructed in a certain way, and its beauty lies in that, I would say. So I think the balance to achieve, I would say you can keep the heritage part of it and still balance out the growth part of it, and that is something that you sort of have to hit the nail on the head to be able to achieve that. And definitely, see, there are always going to be competing concerns and competing interests in today's day and age. It's just about how you structure policy to be able to manage, handle and bring together those competing interests for the larger cause of development.
Inika, as a young voter, does this slogan "Abki baar 400 par" of BJP in any way scare you, or as a young voter, do you really see these issues like Ram Mandir and the national issues prevalent here in Chandigarh? Answer both my questions.
So I would say it in two ways, right? Firstly, the slogan's changed a number of times. You have seen that with every phase, the slogan has changed, and particularly in Chandigarh, from what I have seen, when you're drowning and then you sort of flail, so you try to grab onto anything. I think that's what's happening here, because you can see the support in which our nomination was held yesterday, and the support with which people came out. All parties of the India Alliance came together to, champion a larger cause of saving democracy, and I think that has very clearly sort of shown the way that Chandigarh is ready for change, and not just Chandigarh, the country is ready for change. So I would say slogans change, slogans are always adapting, and you've seen them adapt in the past 3 phases. And then I will request you to repeat your second question.
It was about Ram Mandir. Do you see Ram Mandir a relevant issue? Because in each and every house, the akshat of Ram Mandir was precisely distributed. So we see that on ground. People are connected with the Ram Mandir. They have the sentiment, the religious sentiment. It still thrives here.
See, I would say that religion thrives in every single person, right? Ram Ji is someone who lives amongst us all. He lives in our heart. And I think that, religion is something that's very personal to every single person. And religion is about acceptance more than anything. I accept your beliefs and you accept mine without them having to compete with each other. So I do think that right now Chandigarh's primary concern is about the development of the city, while Ram Mandir may play a certain role. I think people are seeing beyond that, and they're seeing that now it's time to choose progress more than anything else.
So this is Manish Tewari's daughter Inika Tewari handling the social media campaign for her father Manish Tewari, where she precisely states that Chandigarh is all set for change. And in the social media campaigning, what are the pivotal issues are mostly the focus areas of the pockets of Chandigarh, and what Chandigarh could be after 10 years, and down the line 10 years Chandigarh, the development of Chandigarh was halted, which precisely is the very important focus point in a social media campaign. Harsha Zandwani along with Hitesh, Republic TV, Chandigarh.